Yo, what's going on, guys? Flop here. Real quickly, I'm just gonna go over my plans for phase two. I'm gonna go over Feral, Balance, Resto, as well as just kind of giving you a basic idea of how I'm planning on leveling as soon as the phase launches. So yeah, I'll just jump right in. I'm planning on leveling as Feral. I'm going to go into BFD right away as soon as launch hits. Try to get a group of 10 people together. Go into a quick BFD. They've said that you're going to get like more XP from BFD. So I imagine that just getting that done really quickly with like an efficient group is going to be really good. So if you have a group of people that you know you can get a quick run in with, I'd recommend doing that really quickly. And honestly, it may not be the best, but I'm just going to give it a shot and see if the XP is worth it. And then as soon as I'm done with that, I'm going to jump into stockades, probably sit there farming stockades until like around level 28 to 30. And then once I'm at a place where I can go actually do my quests, because I was one of the many people who went and did all my quests for gold, so questing's not an option for me right away. Go to stockades until 28:30, and then at 28:30 I think I'm going to go out into the world and start getting some quests done, and by then hopefully some people have found out where the runes are. If not, through questing I hope to go and discover some of these runes, new ones for Feral that are going to increase my leveling speed, like King of the Jungle and Berserk. I'll go ahead and reset this talent tree and just show you what I'm planning on going. So right away we'll be level 25. So I'm gonna grab 2 points in Brutal Impact, 3 points in Feral Instinct just in case I need a tank. Thick Hide is not such a great talent. 2 points in Feline Swiftness, obviously, and then 3 points in Sharpened Claws, and then probably just 1 point in Predatory Strikes, just to try to get to leader of the pack as soon as possible. I might go Feral Charge, depending on whether or not I think there will be World PvP happening in STV. I might grab this sooner. But yeah, so to 27, I'm just going to finish out Predatory Strikes. And at this point, I might just grab Feral Charge. Or Improved Shred, I'm not really sure. I'd probably just grab Feral Charge at this point, and then put 1 point in Improved Shred. Grab 2 points in Savage Fury, 1 in Fairy Fire Feral. Finish out Improved Shred, put 1 point in Blood Frenzy, and then from 34 to 40, you're just going to go 5 points in Heart of the Wild, and then 1 point in Leader of the Pack at 40. This will be kind of what I think will be the primary build for Feral, both in PvE and PvP. If you're not using Shred, maybe you just go 2 points in Blood Frenzy, but I imagine you probably will be using Shred, but we'll just have to see. And this is the rune setup. Obviously, Wild Strike, Savage Roar, Mangle going to be the same, and then adding Berserk and King of the Jungle. Survival Instincts is more of a tanking rune, maybe useful in PvP. We'll see. And then Berserk obviously is the only Feral one that you have available here. But once I hit level 40, I'm planning on going Boomkin, and I'll show you the PvP build that I'm planning on playing for Boomkin here. 5 points in Improved Wrath, 1 point in Nature's Grasp, 5 in Improved Moonfire, only 2 in Natural Shapeshifter, and this is to get 4 out of 5 in Vengeance. We are a little bit limited. We're not going to be able to get the 3 points in Moonglow. As you can see here, required level 40. We're going to have to drop 1 point here and drop some Moonglow to get the extra points in Vengeance for that bigger crit damage. And yeah, this here, Improved Starfire, people have already tested this. This is going to work, we think, with Star Surge. It works now. Unless they change it, this is going to allow Star Surge to stun somebody for 3 seconds. Have a 15% chance to stun for 3 seconds. So you have an ability that's 42-yard range, does a ton of damage, costs almost no mana, and is also a stun. So with this talent, if this does work with Star Surge, it's hard for me to imagine a world in which Boomkins are not very dominant in PvP, both solo and in groups. And then grabbing Moonkin Form for that extra 3% crit. The runes for this is what I think I'll play in PvP to start with. Obviously, you go Furious Stormrage for the free Wraths and the chance to proc an instant healing touch. Just really, really strong in PvP, not spending mana, free damage, healing. Wild Growth is just worth it over Sunfire. Having the ability to heal yourself, really quickly without having to cast is super, super strong. And Sunfire costs mana. It does good damage, but it's not worth it over the survivability benefit of Wild Growth. And if you're doing BGs, if you're in Warsong Gulch, if you're a Boomkin and you're on offense, having a Wild Growth for the 4 to 5 people that are on offense with you is a huge asset. It also makes the priest on your team, if there's a priest healing you guys, it makes the Prayer of Mending bounce over and over again. So it's really, really strong in PvP. For the Waste slot, the new Waste slot, I don't think you're going to go Eclipse in PvP. Casting a 3-second, or if you get a Nature's Grace proc, I guess it's 2.5, but still, even like that's just such a long cast. I don't think you're going to be casting Starfire ever, so I don't think you're going to benefit a lot from Eclipse. So I think Nourish is going to be the go-to for PvP. If it works like it does in Wrath, it being a short cast time and a mana efficient strong heal, this is going to be a huge asset to you and your team. And one caveat here I actually want to talk about: if Nourish is really strong and it's a relatively fast cast, in some situations it might even be worth it to drop Wild Growth and pick up Sunfire, and just kind of most of your healing relies around throwing up a rejuve and then casting Nourish. But in most situations, I still think I'm going to go with Wild Growth, just because I think the toolkit of Fury of Stormrage for the free Wraths with Star Surge and Moonfire, that's kind of all the damage you need. That is more than enough to kill people in phase 1. So going into phase 2, I think this will be the setup. Obviously, Dream State is the only Resto or Balance rune in this slot, so easy pick. But Dream State is huge. Anytime you crit, you get a 50% mana buff of getting your mana, like you get 50% of your mana back while you're casting, and increases the nature damage that you're dealing. So that's really big. That's a 20% buff to Sunfire, because I believe Sunfire is nature damage. So we'll see. I could maybe see us going Sunfire and just taking Nourish, but in a lot of situations, not having to cast is going to be too valuable. We'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, this is my PvP build, and this is also the build I think I'll use when I'm raiding. I'll compare this to the build for raiding, which the only big difference is this 1 point here in Vengeance with this build and this build. That's the only like major benefit of the PvE build over the PvP one, besides the fact that you have Eclipse talented into for PvE, which I think will be very valuable, and Sunfire, obviously. So this is the build for PvE, but I plan on just like, you can swap the runes whenever, but to go respec, spend the gold, I'm probably just going to be raiding as a Boomkin with this setup, and just kind of me and a priest. I'll off-heal with Wild Growth and Nourish when needed, and just pretty much just be doing damage like a Boomkin without Eclipse or Sunfire. So offering a substantial amount of DPS, filling that second healer slot while also doing a lot of damage. That's my plan. That's what I've been doing in BFT in phase 1, and going into phase 2 I think it'll be the same. But if the raids are more difficult, if your Nomergon is more difficult, and I do have to swap over to more of either a full healing or full DPS setup, then I will. And then yeah, I guess quickly I'll just touch on Resto. I could see this build here being really strong in World PvP, just because of the survivability of it. You're going to be able to pick up NS, you're going to get Reflection, you're going to have Insect Swarm, which reduces people's chance to hit by 2%, which can be nice. All of your healing is just going to be a lot stronger, and I think if you look Nourish, it says at the bottom here, this spell benefits from and triggers all effects associated with Healing Touch. This talent here reduces the cast time of your Healing Touch spell by 0.5 seconds. If this makes Nourish a really fast cast, I could see this build being very strong in World PvP, just because, Star Surge and Wrath don't cost any mana, and if you get crits, you're getting a bunch of mana back from Dream State, and you're going to be really tanky. So maybe I'm a Resto Druid healer in raids, and I run full Resto, and then in World PvP, I'm just really tanky, and I still have a lot of damage with Star Surge. That being said, you are missing out on a lot of damage here with Moon Fury and Vengeance and Improved Moonfire, and the range on Nature's Reach. This probably will be my setup in the beginning, but I'm gonna mess around with some Resto stuff, be really tanky, and just get in there and have some fun with that. But yeah, we'll see what happens in phase 2. But regardless, I'm looking forward to it, and I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments, and I will address those in the next couple days. But yeah, have fun and see you out there. Peace.